Welcome to the $100 MacBook project. My goal is simple. With $100 in my pocket, I'm going to attempt to purchase a MacBook, upgrade it and fix it up to as much as I can, and get it usable in 2023. Ever since Apple Silicon came out, there have been absolute floods of older Intel MacBooks that are being sold for next to nothing on eBay. So I saw a terrific Luke Miani video where he was able to find a $24 MacBook. Now, while I'm not gonna go quite that cheap, my hope is that I can find a MacBook that's maybe 40, 50 bucks. I'm gonna straight do what Luke did in his video. I'm gonna go for buy it now, lowest price first. So let's see what we can find. Well, number one is a pizza cutter. Am I cutting apple slices? Old Apple MacBook for repair or parts. Okay, so it's like a little over $20. Oh my God, what did someone run over this with a car or something? MacBook Air, okay, so, bro, what are you selling this thing for? Put that in the recycle bin. Look how swollen the middle of this MacBook is. Nope, not doing that. Ooh, lot of MacBook parts. I might need some of these. What do we get here? We get some screens and some keyboards for some MacBook Airs and a Pro. Oh, you know what? Potentially. What if I buy 2 MacBooks and Frankenstein them together into one functioning MacBook? Ooh, okay, so here's one that's actually functional and booted. $40, but it has keyboard issue. There are a few keys on the keyboard that doesn't work. If the only issue with this is I need to buy it and swap out the keyboard, I can get a replacement keyboard, or I could just buy another MacBook and just Frankenstein the parts together. Here is another 13-inch MacBook. This might be my move. Visually, it looks great. The screen is fully functional. I think I've got the MacBook that I want to start this project with. Let me put my order in, try to get my hands on it, and let's see exactly how much work I'm really gonna need to do and how much budget I'm gonna have to do it with. My friends, it is here. This is our $20 MacBook plus $17.99 shipping, and I'm very excited. So the listing that we purchased said that it is pretty much a fully up and running MacBook, so it's got hard drive, RAM, everything we need, except that it is booting to a white screen. Now, that doesn't sound good, but at $38 shipped, I'm feeling optimistic. And I also just really want to play with it. So I actually accidentally opened the box before I realized it was a MacBook, but I have not actually opened it, don't worry. I'm not a dirty cheater like that. Because we only have a $100 budget, I've had to be very careful with the things I have purchased. However, I did preemptively go ahead and buy a MagSafe power adapter. This ran me, I think, $13. So I definitely need that. So visually, the outside's fine. Some nicks and scuffs, but nothing out of the ordinary for a 10-year-old laptop. It smells quite pleasant. Ooh, okay. So the hinge is not straight. So you see how on this side, it's like flat and flush? On this side, look how much of a gap there is there. The whole thing like wiggles. Like, can you see how much of a gap? Like, that should not be there. Like, look on this side, there's nothing. So that makes me a little concerned. See what it looks like on the inside. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. That hinge has definitely seen better days. Like if you listen to it, what I'm gonna try to avoid with this is having to buy a second MacBook and Frankensteining the good parts together. That would be, in some ways, the best move. Because I could buy another like $40 MacBook. But at that point, I'm gonna have no budget for upgrades. Again, I've already spent $13 on the power supply. So at this point, I've only got like 40 bucks, maybe even a little less than $40 to work with right now. First test is to see if the battery will take any kind of charge. If not, I'm gonna be spending some decent money on a battery. Oh, okay, so yes. So the battery's been turned on, it is now charging. Okay, so at least we do have a battery inside here which will hold some level of charge. We'll let the battery charge a little bit. Let me crack it open and take a look to see if there's any obvious signs of water damage or of disaster on the inside. Okay, let's crack it open, let's see what we got. Ooh, okay. It's actually quite clean on the inside. Like, I mean, a little tiny bit of dust, but nothing that's that bad. So we've got a battery, which is, of course, it's an official, actual Apple battery, so it's not been replaced. It's certainly not gonna be good because it's gonna be, 10 years old at this point. But if it holds any kind of charge, I can probably work with it. So, for the sake of completeness, I have removed the battery, and I've removed the hard drive, I've reseated the RAM, and I've dusted everything out. So, theoretically, it should boot without the battery. Oh wait, I heard something. It turned over. Wait, did it turn over? Oh, the fan's spinning, Oh, okay, we got progress. We actually have some signs of, yo! What? And it chimed too. It's a white screen, but it chimed. Okay, not perfect, because we still got to figure out why it's not actually posting. But at least we have signs of life. Resetting. Oh, there we go. Yep. So we're resetting the PRAM. So we'll give that a first try. Oh, there. Oh, we got it. Okay, we got the flashing disk icon. Okay, so resetting the PRAM did do it. So now it's just looking for an operating system. I was really worried there for a second. We've got, this is exactly what you want to see. This just means that the MacBook should be functional if we can just get an operating system on. So now I'm going to just try putting the hard drive back in first, just so I can get any kind of life out of it. Hard drive's clicking away. Oh, okay, interesting. So I hook up the hard drive. Now instead of getting a no disk error, I'm getting a, it doesn't like the disk? So either there's no OS on the hard drive, which would be strange, or maybe the hard drive has died. Next step, I'm going to plug this hard drive into a newer MacBook to see if it will function in any way. So the drive is trying to spin up, but that doesn't sound good. Oh wait, no, it does. Macintosh HD. macOS 13.33, macOS Extended Journal, 320 gig hard drive. So the hard drive does actually function. Apparently Christine with a C and Christine with a K. So Christine, I will delete everything on your drive, don't worry. But our hard drive works. Right now, I'm feeling pretty positive. Like this is actually really good news. This thing, when it was not booting at all, I was stressed. So let me make the installer first. So this is the MacBook that I'm working on. So what I've had to do to make the installer is I had to pull out another old MacBook that was compatible with El Capitan. And it took so long to actually get the installer to work. Thankfully, it is now copying all of my El Capitan files over here. The copy of the installer app failed. Of course it did. Why would it work? I didn't think that by trying to work with a $100 budget, my biggest problems would just be getting a USB installer to work.
What are you still doing here?
Hello, my friends. I have made progress. So I did have to use a MacBook Air because apparently this is dying and keeps ejecting USBs after a few minutes, but regardless, I now have the USB installer and this is fully functional. So first of all, I do know that this disk works. So in Disk Utility, even though the OS looks like it's broken, I actually have it up and running. But now I want to find out what the battery health is because it has actually now started to take a charge, which it was not doing yesterday. So this battery does have a capacity of 3933 compared to 5450 when it first came out. I don't know the math on that, but it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 75–80% of the original capacity. So I think it is safe to say that this is now a fully functional MacBook, a fresh copy of macOS, and it will be up and running. But even factoring in shipping, even factoring in my actual charger, I still have about a $50 budget to upgrade this thing. So now I really just need to think about what do I actually want to do to this to make it better. So I've never worked on one of these motherboards before. So I know that on the flip side of this is like my CPU, so I can like, change the thermal paste and clean and tidy up. I got a bunch of like dirt out of the heatsink already, but something's not letting it out. Okay. I've got some progress here, and I can also see as I think I still have a cable underneath here. I do. Okay. So this is why I want to pull the logic board out. That is about 13 years of dust that has just been absolutely caked on here. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of just compressed air here. So you know what I'm looking at is what I'm attached to is actually the bottom of the keyboard. So if I wanted to, I could actually remove this as well, but I don't need to. The keyboard, as far as I know, is fully functioning. I should have checked the keyboard. Well, to be fair, the listing didn't say anything about a broken keyboard, and I did type on it a little bit. I think it's fine. I'll be really grumpy if I have to redo all of this. Okay, so now that I have removed the logic board, I'm going to take off the heatsink. I'm going to repaste both our CPU and GPU here, get some dust off the speaker, just try to clean up as much as I can. And while I'm in here, I also want to see if I can maybe fix the hinge. But that'll be a problem for later. I'm going to go ahead and set this off to the side. Let's clean up this logic board. Cue the slow motion dust blowing montage. I pulled in a ringer. Luke is the editor on Danky.
It looks like this is just like popped out. But what we probably should do is take it apart, just take it out, and then we can push it back in and then clip the whole thing back.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
So I had all my screws in very specific spots, and now they've got a little jumbled. That's fine.
That's why we use the magnetic pad.
Well,
I was wondering why you didn't use it.
Well, I also have
right there.
I have things on my magnetic pad and here. It's okay. I can remember. Big screw goes in big hole. Little screw. It's fine. Okay, so I have now undone the hinge.
I'm surprised you have kids.
I'm a big fan of don't ask for directions or favors. Just ask for forgiveness when you break the thing.
Who's gonna forgive you?
The commenters want to have to buy another MacBook and pretend that I never did this one and stay on $700 budget, obviously. Oh,
There you
go. My goodness. Let's go, boy. Freedom! What is wrong with this hinge? Because we actually have not actually fixed anything. We've just gotten access to find out why it's broken.
It looks like it literally just got bent out of shape and it's been stuck that way forever.
It looks like it's been bent, right?
Right, if I remember correctly, you want it. There we go.
Oh!
Oh, that.
Just like that.
Wait, I think
I fixed it.
I think you just fixed it.
And then
Slide back.
put it back.
Oh my God, that's it. It's
Oh,
fixed.
Let's go!
All right, we saved ourselves the money.
Denki saved him the money.
Subscribe to Denki for excellent advice like how to fix MacBooks and how to make videos that don't get views.
What?
Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay.
Now, I gotta remember where all my screws went and put everything back together. So now let me show you how I have spent my remaining budget to upgrade my MacBook. So I was able to get this 240 gig WD Green for $14.99. So not only is this almost the same size because it was a 320 gig, but importantly, this is going to do a lot for my responsiveness. So this, my friends, is a total of 8 gigabytes of DDR3 memory. Now, if this MacBook was very slightly newer, I could have put 16 in there. And technically, I do think there's a way that you can kind of make 16 work, but I didn't have the money for that. 8 gigs of RAM cost me $15.99. A $17 third-party battery, not a good idea for most systems, but again, I am working with a $100 budget. So if you tally up the laptop, the shipping, the SSD, the RAM, and the battery, you get a total of $99.40. So, I said $100 budget, didn't I? Here's the thing, I already did all the hard work of disassembling it, repasting the CPU, fixing the hinge. These upgrades are the kind of upgrades that if you bought this system, especially if you're able to find one that was functional, I mean, look, I'm done. I should put some screws in, but like technically this should now fire up and maybe work. Okay, here goes nothing. We eating good tonight. Especially because we didn't spend all our money on the MacBook. Okay, so we are into El Capitan. So let's actually make sure that everything is showing up. Look how snappy it is. Oh, wait, what? Why does it show 4 gigs of RAM? Oh, okay, so I need to check that. That's not right. But you can see here that we've got ourselves a 240 gig solid state drive. So this is the mid 2009 model with the 2.26 gigahertz Core 2 Duo, and it does have the GeForce 9400N. I can play Minecraft and RuneScape and should be able to watch HD videos actually. So the battery is showing up fine. So basically all I need to do is just restart the computer and make sure that both of my sticks of RAM are working. But assuming that I just didn't insert it all the way or something, we've got a fully functional MacBook. Yeah, baby, 8 gigs of RAM. So I'm not gonna give you a full tutorial, but I'm using OpenCore Legacy Patcher. So what this allows me to do is to create a macOS installer, which I did pick macOS Monterey, and then you can build and install OpenCore, which basically patches it to put a lot of like the drivers and the support for this specific MacBook in. Theoretically, I can now restart this system with my flash drive installed. It will load up a copy of macOS Monterey, which is 2 years old, but it's quite recent. And then I think I need to run one thing after the fact, and I will have a fully functional MacBook that actually can do stuff in 2023. So I'm gonna hold Option and hit the power button. Okay, that should give me the USB as a boot drive, and it does. Okay, so we don't need that. I think I need to do EFI boot, yes. OpenCore Patcher, let's do that. All right, yes, I want to install macOS Monterey. Yes, I do. Hey-o, macOS recovery, boom. So we're in. So I guess what I'll do is I will just nuke my existing OS installation. Okay, goodbye El Capitan. Hope this works. I'm gonna have to start from scratch. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't like a beach ball. That's not good. Yahoo! I don't want a beach ball on the very first screen. Oh, no. Oh, what? Yes, I agree. Yeah, boy. Yep. Is that gonna work? It's working! Yes! Okay, my friends. So, assuming it doesn't crash and burn on me, in 23 minutes, I will have a copy of macOS Monterey on my $100 MacBook. Okay, I'm gonna be patient, let this install, and then we're gonna see exactly what it's like to use a 2009 MacBook that's been fully upgraded for less than $100. And I'm also gonna gloat a lot because I'm pretty proud right now.
So I've been using the MacBook for a few days and I have some thoughts. First and foremost, this is a 14-year-old system, so tempering your expectations is important. That being said though, it is usable here in 2023. The keyboard is decent, the trackpad is phenomenal. The only thing I can really ding it for everyday use is the actual screen. Now the quality of the display is totally fine. It's the resolution that lets it down. 1280 by 800 is just not enough pixels for even like regular web browsing, especially considering that macOS typically loses a little bit of the top and the bottom if you have your dock up. It's workable, but it does feel quite cramped, especially considering this is a 13-inch laptop. At $100 for this $100 MacBook challenge, I think I did pretty well. But if you were to spend, say, $200, you get a significantly newer Retina MacBook, or if you spend like $300 or $400, you're getting into MacBook Touch Bar territory. At the end of the day, I bought a laptop that was pretty much destined to become e-waste and turned it into a fully functional device that can be used in 2023. It's got years of life ahead of it thanks to the newer version of macOS and the upgrades I've done. Plus, I now have a system that has an optical drive and FireWire. It's really neat. But if you enjoyed, definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments below, what project should I do next?